When we talk about debt buyers, debt collectors, debt bailiffs, or however you want to call it, basically these companies that buy a debt from one company and then chase you for recovery of that debt to the full amount even though they didn't pay for it, I generally find they have no morals, no standards, and all they care about is their pound of flesh, and they will try and retrieve it no matter how they can. It's a big scam, and they all need closing down, in my opinion. A lot of them don't end up acting with a warrant of any description and rely totally on your ignorance. Well, when you turn to gas and electricity companies where people fall behind on their payments, then you do generally need a warrant if you're going to attend a premises and do something about it. And there's been some really disgusting news come out, which I want to share with you right now. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing alright. Saturday tomorrow. Let me know what you're up to in the comments below, and you're going to have a good weekend. We'll obviously be here on Sunday at 9 o'clock in the evening for the live, as always. Well, let's look at this, shall we? Yes, forget credit cards and all that sort of thing. That's a different kettle of fish and dealt with differently. Let's have a look at the energy providers, and in this case, British Gas. Picture the scene. You are a customer of British Gas. You run into difficulty paying your gas and electricity bill. What do you do? Well, a lot of people, and it's only human nature, you stick your head up your backside and hope it all goes away. Well, it never does, or it seldom does. And the situation will escalate and escalate and escalate, and they have to do something about it. And one of their tactics when all else fails is to make you have a prepayment meter. That way, if you run out, that's your lookout. Yeah, it's pretty awful, but that's the way of it. Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't want a prepayment meter. No, I don't want a prepayment meter. And the other thing to be aware of, and I can't emphasise this enough, is with smart meters, they can switch you over to prepay without your say-so. That's another disgusting thing about all this. Well, if you refuse to have a prepayment meter, they will have to get a court order to actually come and force one on you. Now, they're outsourcing a lot of this work to enforce these court orders to a company called Arvato Financial Solutions. I've heard of these people before. Absolute toe rags. And what they basically do, they come round and they will make you have it. Now, there are reports that have come out from an undercover reporter that has actually ended up working for these people, that the agents for this company are going round and they're forcing their way into people's homes. There was an instance where they turned up to a single father of three into the home and forced their way in. Now, children are classed as vulnerable people. It's unlawful to levy distress on a vulnerable person. That's for starters. This is where they don't care. You know, the man's home was empty, so in this case they thought, well, you know, let's go in. And one of them actually said, oh, this is the exciting bit. I love this. I love this. There was another individual, a woman in her 50s, who's got severe mental health problems, and a disabled daughter. They just force their way in there. It's absolutely disgusting. Where this has actually been exposed, British Gas is saying that they're no longer going to be using court orders to force prepayment meters on people. I don't think that means anything personally. I think that they will find another way of achieving their goals, most definitely. And of course, when you have a prepayment meter, there's a lot quicker comes off it. So it's not great at all. Listen to this little interview and see what you make of these comments.
When 5 men are sent to a home where 3 young children live with their father, there's an inhaler that's visible, and they force fit the meter, with one of the agents saying, this is the exciting bit, I love this bit. How do you account for people working for British Gas behaving in that way?
Firstly, Michelle, there is nothing that I can say that can express the horror I had when I heard this, when I saw this. It's completely unacceptable. That language is unacceptable. the contractor that we've employed, Arvato, has let us down, but I'm accountable for this. This happened, as you say, when people were acting on behalf of British Gas. There's nothing that can be said to excuse that. Every one of our customers deserves to be treated with respect. That's what I expect of myself, that's what I expect of my colleagues, that's what I expect of our contractors. And so as soon as we heard this, we suspended Arvato. They are not doing any work for us right now. We then commissioned an independent report so we can get to the bottom of what's going on, and therefore, and when we get to the bottom, we'll therefore then fix it. Where we've got it wrong, we'll make it right. We also yesterday morning announced that we have suspended any installation of prepayment meters under warrant until at least the end of the winter. So I want to establish exactly.
I'll give the man his dues. He held his hands up and said, I'm accountable for this. It's my responsibility. And they've suspended all warrants, as you've heard, on prepayment meters till at least the end of the winter. Will they start up again afterwards? I have no idea. But the main thing is, Arvato have been removed. Now, there are other companies out there that could fulfill this role, but I'll tell you what the problem is. It's you've given them a role to do, and they've got ideas above their stature, as always. Simple as that. You need to deal with this internally. You need to be more supportive to these customers, and you need to not trust these external debt collectors. They're no good. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you had any experiences like this? Let's talk about it. I'm off. I'll see you soon with another. Toodaloo.